Hi, my name is Annie.
And my name is Kevin.
And we're Overcommitted.
That was a bit performative.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple days.
It hasn't been our favorite.
We usually try to film this and record the podcast I don't know, days.
As many days as we can.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days before it goes out on Fridays. So usually Monday or the weekend. But this week, it felt a little weird to record before
the election. Yeah.
So we recorded, after it. And it's a little bit of a sad feeling in the air.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Not to get too political.
Yeah, we don't need to make this political.
It's not what people come here for.
Also, I know that a lot of people have already gotten their dose if they want it.
Yeah, and they don't necessarily need it.
So don't worry. This won't be a dissection of the election. Just know that we're not happy with the outcome.
It's a little heavy. It's a lot heavy.
Yeah.
I will say yesterday was the day after the election. And our kids were in our bed like they tend to do sometimes. Or both of them, or maybe just our son. They tend to wake up either early in the morning and they climb in and we let them get their last hour with us. Or sometimes they come in much earlier in the night. We're pretty lax on kids in our bed. Mm-hmm. But our son was in there, but he was just squirrely and ready to get up at 6. So I was like, you know what? I kind of need you as much as you need me right now. We got up and we played Plants vs. Zombies for 45 minutes until everyone else was ready to get up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just cuddled and played Plants vs. Zombies. And it was nice.
Yeah, we're a few days out from it. So it is what, when I say it is what it is, I hate that saying. But yeah, we're just... As with all parents, you just gotta march on.
It is so crazy, and this is not just the election. This is anytime you're a parent and heavy stuff is happening in your life. It's such a wonderful thing and such a hard thing that you have a reason that you have to get up and you gotta get going and you gotta just march on.
Yeah, and there's
whether or not you're ready.
There's a lot of talk too about, in general. Again, this is just general parenting about. Sharing your feelings with your kids. I forget what actor recently said it on a podcast, but they were talking about how, they went up for a role and they didn't get it. And that person decided to tell their kid.
Yeah.
Listen, I was really excited to get this job. I didn't get it. I'm feeling really sad today. And it's a good thing of showing your feelings and your emotions. And I've heard that from a lot of people, but we're now also learning to a degree.
What do you mean?
Well, because yes, you should share your feelings.
Yeah.
But and we did share our feelings of the election with our kids,
right.
But we're not going to be pretty devastated, feeling hopeless right now.
Yeah, no. You have to be it's still going to be okay.
Yeah.
Pretty fast, which is I think it's helpful and healthy sometimes to have something pushing you forward, whether or not you feel ready. I don't know if that's true. I'm not a psychologist. I don't go to therapy. I should. Let's let it all out right now.
That's what this is.
I should be going to therapy.
That's what this is.
But it did feel positive, and then we took them to school, and we got moving. Or you took them to school, actually. I went to the gym, which was great because I also got to work a little of my stress off. And let's be real, we had a few drinks the night before as well, so I got to work that off. I didn't tell you.
I went to a school meeting the next day. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. But just off of having a few drinks, and it was somebody was like, how you doing? And it was the tip of my tongue stopped it right at the gate of just being I had a lot of drinks last night. I stopped myself.
They're like, what? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us did. But I went to the gym. I didn't tell you this. I think I'm going to fully commit to running a marathon.
You've said that.
Yeah. Well, I said I was, and I guess it's not really a full commitment. I'm still doing the same thing. I'm going to do the training hardcore and see how my leg holds out. The one that likes to get tweaky. One of my legs is not so sure. And but I went to the gym and I saw the lady who inspired me to do the marathon in the first place. She just randomly came over to me. I've met her a few times at the gym, an older lady. She's very sweet.
Yeah.
We always say hello to each other. And she came up to me one day after I was doing my normal, like, 3-mile slog, not a good run, net very slowly, hated it. And she was like, you should run a marathon. You could do it, And I was like, I don't know about that. And then she said, I did one about 10 years ago, or I don't know what she said exactly. But she was like, it was really life-changing, and I think you should do it. And then she started talking to me about runners groups, and that's what sort of got my ball rolling, because I'd always thought about doing it, but it felt like this like weird sign. Anyway, yesterday, after the election, feeling bummed out, just did a walk on the treadmill because I'd run the day before. And she showed up at the end, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go say hi to her. So I was like, hey, I am training now. I was like, I haven't gone very far. I've only run like 7 miles so far, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to try at least and see how my leg holds out. And I might cry. She said, I hope you do. And she was like, pushing me again, telling me a bunch of stuff. And then she was like, I want you to know something very special to me happened right after I crossed the finish line. And I hope it happens for you.
Oh.
And she like got teary-eyed, and then I got like teary-eyed, and I was like, I don't know what this is.
She didn't say what it was?
No, she just said something very special happened to me right after I crossed the finish line, and I hope it happens for you.
That's not fair. She's setting me up to do something special now. I have to do something.
No, I think she means it's probably something more like fulfilling of feeling herself, like feeling stronger than she's ever felt before.
Sure.
I'm sure that's what she meant. Maybe she meant some sort of spiritual awakening, but it like literally made me go, okay, now I have to do this.
Oh, yeah, I have to do it.
She's gonna be the lady that someday people are gonna be like, that woman, she's been dead for 30 years. She's never
the founder of this YMCA, and that's her.
Yeah, I don't know. She's very inspiring in these short little bursts of conversation that we've had, and it was very nice.
That's very nice.
I waited to tell you that special moment. I'm a dork.
No, you guys both got teary-eyed.
She probably also had a couple drinks the night before.
Yeah. It was funny this morning, kind of going back on like you woke up early with our kid. And this morning, I had a moment that was like, oh man, like, yeah, I'm getting older. And my wife is, this is the age we're at. But you had
a moment where I also appeared older?
No, I'm getting older, and you're aware I'm getting older because we're both getting older.
Okay.
You must have like rolled over and pulled the blanket off of me.
Oh, sure. At some point.
Happens all the time to people.
I had a deep sleep last night.
But I was
deep REM.
I woke up shivering. And because you don't realize it when you don't have the blanket. And I like woke up and I was like, oh. And you like turned around and went, what? What is it? What's wrong? And I was like, I'm just cold. Don't make this a thing. Like
I'm always like that with you. If you make any sound in the night, if you get up, I'm always like, what's the matter? Is it the children?
You have done that when I'm like coming back from the bathroom. What's wrong? I have to pee.
I'm the one that's supposed to get up and wander the house like a specter, not you.
Yeah, apparently. I got to be quieter.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, last night I woke up, I heard our dog in the yard, and I was like, oh my God, what's happened? It's the middle of the night and our dog is in the yard. And then I realized it was 11:30 and you just hadn't come to bed yet, and you were just letting him out to go to the bathroom before bed, and like all was normal. But I guess between when I went to bed at like 10 and 11:30, I fell into a deep sleep.
Let's see how many people can relate to this, because I am so spoiled now because of the dog going out. We're in a house now, which we're very lucky to have, which has a backyard, which is gated closed.
Yeah.
So what I used to have to do at the end of the night was put our dog on the leash in our apartment on the second floor and go down the stairs and walk him around, let him go to the bathroom, and then go back up and go to bed. Now it's just about unlocking the back door, letting him out, and then inevitably chasing after him, chasing a skunk.
Yeah. He was barking at something.
Yeah, there was something on the fence. But it was just like last night I saw him and I was like, oh, come on, man. Like I was ready for bed. You know when you do that when you're like, I'm going to bed. I'm shutting it down. I stayed up late working last night. So it wasn't even like, I couldn't even get mad at myself. I was actually being productive.
Yeah, no.
And I was like headed to bed and I saw him and I was like,
can you be fast about it, please?
All I need to do is open the door.
I know.
I'm so lazy.
Yeah, but sometimes he does. You disappear back there and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And we have a skunk problem.
We have a real
So you just never
problem.
know if he's going to be like coming back smelling like something at night. You got to be careful.
I knew something was wrong because he came out and he started looking under the furniture, which he never does. backyard,
in the backyard furniture.
And I was like, oh no, he smells something's near.
Oh no,
But
yeah.
It was fine. He didn't get sprayed for once.
For once, he's only been sprayed.
He's been sprayed
3 or 4 times.
5 times.
No, really? 5, you think?
At least 5.
But over the course of several years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still awful.
No, yeah. It's the last thing you want when you're feeling sleepy is like, I might have to be about to give this dog a baking soda bath.
The last time he got sprayed, it was like whoever this skunk was fresh off the lot because he smelled for months.
Do the baby skunks have like a more intense smell, or is
they say
the
like
older skunks?
They say baby snakes are more dangerous because they don't know how to control their venom output. I don't know if that's true. They just like to say that in horror movies.
Skunk?
But
I've never
I don't
heard
know
that before.
That's a baby skunk thing because, dude, he got nailed so bad. And then he smelled for months. And I gave him multiple skunk baths throughout those months. And it only like recently went away.
Yeah. And sometimes you still kind of smell it when he gets nervous. I think it comes out of his pores.
It's amazing.
Anyway, so if you're feeling rough, we're with you. And if you're not feeling rough, okay.
So it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
But we just had Halloween.
Yeah.
Since the last podcast.
Can we talk about the funniest moment of Halloween?
Sure. Please.
You have those moments where your kids are like, our kids were not willing to stay together. This is so long ago. Hopefully people aren't like, Halloween. They were just like not willing to stay together. Our kids were like, run as soon as, but it feels like 3 months ago.
It does feel like 3 months ago.
We've lived a life since then. Our kids were like, run. Especially our youngest was like booking it down the street and not willing to wait. We were in this big group of kids. Like we were all kind of trying to travel together. Mm-hmm. And they were like, just each man for themselves. I'm going to go at my own pace. And our son was ready to race. So he was at the front of the line.
Yeah, he was moving.
So you really had to like stay up with him, but you're like kind of like kept being like, can we wait for our friends, man? So we got to this house where it was a house that I would have said no on. You know, it's really tricky with like with who to go. We pretty much just hit up the really decorated houses in our neighborhood because there are people that go all out and it's like clear we are down for Halloween tonight.
Yeah, there's one big block that is just Mardi Gras. It's
then
great.
There are the houses that are like shut down, all black. We're traveling or we're in here and we just don't want you to know. We're just not interested in feeding your kids candy. It's not my business. Love it. Then there are some houses that like leave a peculiar outside light on.
Yep.
But I don't think that they're open for business.
Yeah,
But the kids don't know. It's like they're just doing their normal night. Maybe it's
they don't know what day it is.
Yeah, they don't know what day it is. Maybe their light comes on every night. Maybe they turn it on not thinking about it. And the kids will be like, can we? And I'm like, no, let's just not. Let's just, why? Why risk it?
We have so many other houses.
So many other houses to hit. Mm-hmm. So there was one of those. It was brightly lit outside, and then the window was wide open, so you could brightly lit inside, and you could see this woman. Like she looked like she was studying or doing like reading, and you could see her inside the house. The kids went up to her front, even though I was like, "No, I don't think this is. It's okay." And then so many kids were going that it was like, "All right, let's just see what happens." And you could see her kind of like walking around confused.
Yeah, we started to call back for them. Like,
yeah,
we could see through the window. Guys, not happening.
She's like, what do I do right now? And we're like, guys, come back. But then she goes to the door. So I was like, okay, maybe we're wrong. Maybe she just was looking for the candy bowl.
Yeah.
And then she hands one of the kids something and then goes, oh, there's more of you. Okay, hold on.
And I knew we were in trouble because I saw her go, do like the hand thing.
Counting.
And I was like, oh no, she doesn't have candy.
Goes back to her fridge. And then this is like a young woman, nice house.
I love her for this. I love her for this.
Gives all the kids something. And my youngest comes up to me and goes, what is this? And I was like, hey, we don't do that. Be happy someone gave you something. That's nice of people to give you something. And then he hands it to me and it was like Church's chicken honey packet.
I think it was Popeyes.
Popeyes chicken honey packet.
Yeah.
She just clearly keeps her honey packets from her Popeyes orders in her fridge or something. And then she gave those out to the kids.
Yeah, it's my favorite decision that any adult could make. I love it so much. I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, good for her because
she made it happen.
It's a mystery, though. We'll never know the answer. Did she, thinking on her feet, go, this is funny? Or did she go, I have to give them something?
That's what it felt like to me.
And that's very funny to me that I don't know the answer.
But maybe not. Maybe
she might have been ironic. Like, she might just be a fun party. She's a fun party person. She would have celebrated Halloween.
But the craziest thing is that then we're walking away. Her light's not going off.
She didn't. Understand.
I'm like, buddy, there's gonna be more kids.
You don't
here.
have that much honey packets. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not going to judge you.
This is you're putting yourself in a very nebulous position. We don't know whether or not you're meaning to be part of this.
That's what I mean. Like she was
experiment or not.
So unaware of Halloween in every aspect. There was not a single decoration. Like you said, the window was like the blinds were up and you could see into her house with all the lights on. Front porch light on. It was just like, oh, okay, we're welcome here.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out for her. And I just appreciate how she thought on her feet, because I remember my first Halloween in my apartment in New York City. I spent money.
We always used to be so prepared just in case.
Money on candy.
Yeah.
Especially back then when it was just like, I'm taking money out of the ATM to pay my rent every month.
Yeah.
So like I spent like probably like $40 on candy.
Right.
Had a huge bowl. And
the shock you feel the first time you buy one of those big candy bags and it's like $20. Like $20?
Is this much? Oh my gosh. Was so funny though, because I think my roommates, which was like my brother and another friend, were both working. I was by myself in the apartment. I remember that. And then I just sat in, by myself for hours.
Here's the real question.
What?
Were you wearing a costume piece?
I
don't think you'd be in full costume, but I could see you sitting there in a cape.
I could see myself wearing something. I don't remember, but I see myself wearing something.
Maybe a nurse's scrub top.
Nurse's scrub top.
You had those.
Or I used to have that. I still do have, because I was like a guy from a video game. He's like a Navy SEAL kind of character.
Yeah.
So I had like the vest and stuff. I might have worn that.
Oh my God. Referee shirt.
But nobody came. Not a single person, which is when I learned in New York, no, nobody goes to apartments.
Nobody goes to apartments. Yeah, unless they know you.
So then I have $40 worth of candy.
Some apartment buildings they do, but not in the apartments we lived in.
And because I was just a young dum-dum, just freshly turned 21, I didn't think to go, I wonder if there's somewhere I can donate this candy. I should look into it. It was just like, I guess I have $40 of candy now.
To eat?
Yeah, I probably did some work on those.
I bet you're responsible. I bet you portioned it out.
Yeah, I didn't that night.
No, I mean, like, I'm joking that you made it last all year.
It's
probably gone in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a couple.
Yeah. We have so much candy right now, we need to be giving away somewhere. I know you can donate it.
Let's talk about that, because I think...
Yes, let's talk about that.
I want to know, write in or DM us... well, if your kids are like this, so our kids are, as you were just saying, obsessed with Halloween. They go nuts for it.
Yeah.
But they've already pretty much forgotten about all their candy.
I know. Well, yeah, it's like right on the counter. It's like right in front of them.
They will walk by and grab a piece.
Yeah.
Occasionally, but for the most part, they're not like, where's my candy?
No.
And the same thing happened last year and the year before, and I'm kind of waiting for that not to happen, especially with our oldest. That she's gonna be like, this is my candy. I want it, because we save it and then use it for other certain holidays.
Mm-hmm. I think we have too much even for that right now.
We do. We definitely have too much, but it's just funny. I want to know if do other people's kids have this as well, which I get it. It's like the excitement of Halloween isn't necessarily I have all this candy to eat. It's like this is my plunder. Yeah. Like a dragon.
I also think it's like
its
certain candies they get more excited about. I don't think they were very excited for chocolates, and it was a lot of chocolates this year.
Yeah, they're more of
Skittles,
Starburst. I was gonna say Smarties, but nobody's excited about Smarties.
Nobody's ever been excited about Smarties.
Flavored chalk. I mean, I always liked Smarties.
I like fruit flavor,
but I don't seek it out
at all. Not even a little bit.
That's not true. You'd eat a Smarties if it was in front of you.
Nope. You know, I've discovered in the last year that's like this is my dangerous candy. Nerd clusters.
Weed candy.
Weed gummies. Nerd clusters. Those things are bomb.
Nerd clusters are one of those things though that taste like a cavity.
I don't
you
care.
bite into it and you go, ooh,
yeah, for sure.
This feels like
I don't brush
acid for my teeth.
Yeah. I'll be able to trace back this cavity exactly to the moment when it happened.
You have a cavity. I know.
I remember when it happened.
Yeah.
I felt it.
One of your teeth looks like a colander.
Gross. So here's something that's really hard, and I've been trying to figure out where I stand on it. Is like, I know we're supposed to encourage our kids not to say stuff that's bad.
Like swears? Or
like swears is one that we're always like, it's hard because we definitely have this stance of like, mommy and daddy swear sometimes. Mm-hmm. You're going to hear it. We try not to do it in front of the kids too much, but definitely happens, and they call me out on it every time. But like we also want them to know like they're just words.
Yeah.
Except for certain words are not just words, and if they come out of your mouth, I'll be very upset. But certain words are just words.
Yeah.
And they're often used to like exclaim your feelings.
Yeah.
I've been like that lately with like bad jokes.
Like poop fart jokes?
Yeah, because like I love poop and fart jokes. I think they're real funny. I think especially farts are hilarious.
Yeah.
Our daughter sat on my lap the other day. She like curled up on me like a baby. It was so cute. And then she just like let out this very long fart. And I just laughed so hard. I thought it was so fun. It was just like the bifurcation of the moment of her just being like, so sweet and a baby. And then, huge toot. But then like also... Our oldest has taken to calling my boobs words.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's not like a little kid when they have like pet names for your boobs. She's 8. It's like she's older.
She's being funny.
Yeah. And I get like the smile, the smirky, like I know I'm being so funny and I'm like genuinely giggling.
Yeah.
On her face. It just like fills my heart with joy. She will be like, your boobs, your bobos, your bonobos, your bobbles.
Yeah.
And then she just like goes off on like a tangent of boob names
That start with B.
Yeah. And she's like giggling the whole time. And I know I should be like, hey, that's not what they're called. And also,
they're called
let's
breasts.
not talk
we
about
only use those
my
words.
body parts. And please don't bring this to school and like give a big talk. But man, I just laugh every time. It's like the same as last night. She took a slow-mo video of her mouth with like all of its 4 teeth. Doing a big like
a weird just slow motion face
slow motion face thing where she's like opening your mouth really wide and making weird faces, and she like then cropped it down so it was just her mouth, and she was laughing with such delight. Oh God, it was like it filled me with everything I need right now.
Oh.
And in the same way, our son the other day, I picked him up and he told me, hey, you're squishing my coconuts. And I was like, you're what?
Yeah.
And he said, my coconuts. And I said, those are called your testicles. And that's what you should call them because I know that we're supposed to teach them the proper words.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, but I call them like coconuts because they look like coconuts. And
and it's just like, oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. And
I know my kids never sound as funny to other adults.
Right.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
People are going to be listening to this going, that's not that funny. But it's funny when it's your own kid. And man,
somebody said that about the Seth Rogen thing. Did you see the Seth Rogen clip from several months back about he's not going to have kids?
Yeah.
And he's like, because I've seen people's kids and they're stressed out and it's a lot of work and I just don't want that. And it was just like, yeah, fair. And one guy I thought had the best response to it, which was just like, I get it, man. Like, I get it. I'm a father. I wouldn't want kids too if my only frame of reference were other people's kids.
For real.
He's like, my kids are hilarious and great, and your kids are annoying.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's hilarious.
I know.
Because it's just like...
I know, I'm being that parent now. Isn't it so funny when my kid says, but it's not about what they said. I get it. Like, the joke is not, it's not like that strong of a joke. It's just funny watching your kid with that little smirk in their face.
A little smile in their
knowing
eye.
they're doing something.
Well, our oldest knows that we both do comedy.
Yeah.
And... so she's very interested in it.
Yeah, she's always like, why is it funny?
She's not seeking a career in it.
No.
But she does always ask, why was that funny? What made you laugh about that? What was funny?
Every time she says something and we laugh. Why was that funny?
It's a bummer because like a lot of times it's like, listen, it's just surprising. If we broke it down, it's not funny at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't say anything funny.
Right.
Is that you said it this time, timing, blah, 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 and you can't.
And in a real world of comedy, every time you say boobs, bonobos, bobos, it's less funny, but not to your mom.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe in a week.
I think at 12, you're going to be like, knock it off.
Yeah, our son took to saying, never. Anytime I'll be like, you got to get ready for school. He likes to go, never. And the first time he did it, it was so funny. And now the 10th time, it's lost its charm. We need to get our clothes on.
Speaking of that.
Yeah.
This morning was so funny to me.
Because I yelled at the kids.
Yes. Because specifically of what you said was you needed the kids to get ready.
Yeah.
Get your socks and shoes on. And I was in here filming something. And I appreciate thank you for doing that so I had time. Of course. But then you came around the corner and they weren't wearing socks and shoes. And we always wait for my brother and our sister-in-law to come with their kids and we all walk to school together.
Right.
So they were here, and you're like, they're here. And then I heard you turn the corner, and you're like, you don't have your socks and shoes on. I've been telling you for hours to put your shoes on. You said for hours.
I heard it the moment I said it. And it was not hours.
I nearly fell out of my chair. I thought it was so funny that you said, I've been telling you for hours. I was like, they've been up for 45 minutes.
It was probably 10 minutes. That was how the whole morning felt, though. It was like this morning of like, I didn't have to make their lunch today because it was a good school lunch. It was like burgers, I think. Also, all I have to do on these mornings is like get them dressed, get them waters, and then we walk to school. We're in a very lucky situation with getting our kids to school.
Position.
And these days should be easy, but for some reason, both of our kids could not get out of bed this morning. They both were just like, I don't want to get out of bed. And like, they always say that, but they were like pushing it to the point where I had to be like, you have to get out of bed or you don't, because they also eat breakfast at school. Talk about lucky. So you don't technically have to eat before you leave. They like to eat.
Put on shirt and pants, get out of here.
Yeah, they like to eat 2 breakfasts.
Yep.
But if I can get them fully dressed in the clothes they need to be wearing, and ideally with hair and teeth brushed, that's really all I have to do, and get their water bottle filled. And they just did not want to do it. And then our daughter had the nerve to be like, I want to be at school early today. And I was like, in what world?
Yeah.
And they finally got out of bed. I made them wobbles, slowly eating that. Didn't want to finish eating that. No. And then like didn't want to get on their clothes. Finally got on their clothes. And then the piece is like brush your hair, brush your teeth, put on shoes and socks.
Yeah.
And I kept yelling to them, like, do we have shoes and socks? Not like at this point, I'm just like across the house yelling, not yelling at them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do we have shoes and socks on? And I hear a yes from both. And I was like, sweet. And I'm like, did we brush our hair? No answer. Did we brush our hair? Yep. And I was like, okay, great. And then just as our in-laws arrived, my sister-in-law arrived, I came around the corner and our oldest was like, I didn't brush my hair. And our son was wearing shoes, but no socks.
Perfect. And
he was wearing the shoes that have like holes in them that he likes to wear, which it's fine. It's warm enough. He can wear those if he wears socks.
Right.
And so then I had to be like, guys, come on.
I've been telling you for days now.
I've been telling you since you were in
week
kindergarten.
3 of me telling you to put on shoes.
You know, the exaggeration came out. It's fine.
It was great, though. It was very
We're walking
fun.
to school. I said to my daughter, like, I should be figuring out a way to, like, get on your level and make sure I'm making eye contact with you when I talk. Instead of yelling to you across the house and assuming it's getting through. I don't want to be a yelling mom. And she was like, no, it's fine. Our teacher yells. I was like, yeah, but your teacher has 20 kids, 20 plus kids.
I don't think she has an option not to
take care of, who are probably all talking at once. I just have 2.
Yeah.
I could have worked it out a little better.
I mean, I feel like you're okay. Stepping back, yes. The easy answer is, yeah, you didn't need to yell X, Y, Z, whatever. But like, God, if parenting isn't just the thing where you definitely yell and then feel bad, but at the same time, it's like, and I've talked about this before about how like sometimes gentle parenting isn't an option. You can't gentle parent when like they're going to be late for school.
Right.
Oh, but it's fine.
It was a morning, but it's fine. Now we're in that weird post-Halloween, post-election haze of like, we just have like to get to Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving's later this year.
Thanksgiving seems late, which is fine. And
it is fine.
We'll be deep into the holidays, whatever holiday anyone celebrates. I think people are going to spend a little extra money this holiday season. Let's see if this holiday season and I know I'm saying this because we will fail, do an appropriate amount of stuff.
Probably not. I just went ham on TikTok Shop.
Okay, so no. All right. Good to know.
I don't know that.
We've already failed.
I feel bad buying TikTok Shop too. I feel like that's probably like Temu. I don't know. But it was a bunch of like washi tape and stuff. It was really inexpensive and free shipping. And
what is
our
it?
daughter that's like that small tape that's like decorative.
Oh, yeah.
And they also had like markers that she likes. So I just bought a bunch of like the art supplies, kind of her stocking stuffers that I'll forget I bought and then buy more stocking stuffers next month.
Yeah, our daughter, and I know a lot of kids are this way, is like a salvager. She's like, this is a good box.
Oh, my God.
I like this box. We did a run for the YMCA. We did the family community run. And there was it was sponsored by a lot of places. I think Cedar Sinai was one of them. And they all have like booths. There's like a dentist that had a booth. Cedar Sinai had a booth. Somebody else had a booth. And she went over and they were like, do you want this? And it was a
half pill case,
half
Band-Aid case.
Band-Aid case. And she was just like, this is exactly what I need in my life. Thank you so much for this.
And then she went back to get another one for her brother.
Another one for him, which he took Oreos, broke them into pieces, and put them in the pills, and then just carried them out.
Well, there weren't actual pills in there. It was just like all the spaces for them. But yeah.
And it's funny
I was
because
like,
you see
that's
that,
disgusting now.
and our dumb parent brains go, oh, they really want a case. We should buy them a case.
Uh-huh.
No. They like taking garbage and transforming
Yeah.
it. That is a joy for them.
I can't remember what it was. It was something like an Amazon box, but it was a box within a box. And just like I was in the middle of a call the other day and she just wandered into the office and was like, "Can I have this?" I was like, "Yes." What? Go away.
It's great. It is a joy they have, and it's going to make Christmas difficult because, it's usually the little boy
Yeah.
who's infatuated with boxes or
No, it's our
wrapping
8-year-old.
paper. Now
She
our
just wants to
8-year-old's
make
going to be like, can I hold on to this?
We should keep it pretty calm then because she is really into like creative stuff.
Yeah. Every Christmas, I
But
feel
then
like
the,
most parents do this. By gift 3, you go, we should have stopped
Yeah.
here.
But we do have to get her some Sanrio stuff, and that's going to bankrupt us because
That
she's obsessed with Hello
will-
Kitty, and that stuff's expensive.
Yeah. We're going to have to rent
Sanrio's
out our
like
garage,
Lego.
which is not finished.
Sanrio, you'll be like, "Oh, this is just a cute little Hello Kitty bag. How much could it be? Oh my god!"
$68.
Yeah, I feel like I do the same thing sometimes in a Lego store. This is so cute. How much could this be? Oh my gosh, $100
Oh,
on a
goodness.
Lego set.
That sounds like that's a kick in the coconuts.
Nailed it.
I will say, circling back to the community run we did with the YMCA, which was a really fun little fundraiser for our local YMCA. They're great. We rely on them for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Obviously working out, but also tons of programs the kids do. YMCA is great. We did the run and we signed us all 4 up for the 2-mile run. And it was at Pierce College. And it was like this track that they have for probably their, cross country team or whatever they have.
Yeah. It's hilly.
It was very hilly. It was because it was
More hilly than
up
I'm used to
it
running.
was up like a hill mountain, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that was one of those many, many moments that you have as a parent where you're just like, I love you very much, little buddy, but I wish you weren't here. Like, because I kind of want to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, we signed up for the 2-mile, and I was like,
It's a family run walk.
family run walk.
Yeah.
I went with our oldest, you went with our youngest, and it was just kind of like the starting bell went off and she went into a full sprint.
Yeah.
Then I kept telling her, like, don't sprint, it's too okay.
We probably should have just agreed to walk it all together as a family. There was tons of people walking, but instead we like let them run as they choose.
Yeah.
So then you're this like weird pattern of like running and walking. We're nowhere near each other.
Yeah. You and I we're nowhere near each other.
On the hills, my son was like just dragging, but so I was like, I'll just put you on my shoulders, which he's a little big for that, but
Yeah. I mean,
especially me walking up hills with him on my shoulders. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a work out of this somehow.
So you got a workout out of it. I was like, her sprinting is my jogging.
Yeah.
So I'm jogging and then stopping and walking for a long time and then jogging and then stopping. And I was like, hey, this is fine. I'm still getting steps.
That's part of why I gave you her, why I was like, you should go with her and I'll be with the younger one,
Yeah.
because her sprinting is not my jogging. Her sprinting is like me running.
Yeah.
And
She's getting fast.
I would have been gassed.
But I was just like, man, I actually would have liked to have run this.
I thought that too. I was a little bit bummed because they had a 10K and a 5K, and I was like, I should have signed up for the 10K. I need to be doing longer mileage on the weekends anyway.
Yeah.
But it was so windy and so hilly. I was a little bit like, I would have probably hated this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably good for me to learn how to run hills, but typically everywhere I've ever run has been flat as a pancake.
Good for me to learn how to run hills.
Well, it's different muscles.
Yeah. Shin splints.
Yes.
Shin splints. But yeah, I just remember that was just like one of those many, many moments that you have all the time as parents. It is what it is. I'm not actually broken up about it. I'm not a runner, so I don't actually care.
Right.
But it was definitely a moment I was like, I would have liked to have done this. It would have been a fun challenge.
No, we should just watch probably.
Or you and I would have walked and we wore our Uggs and had coffees,
Yeah, that would have been lovely. There were a lot of people doing that. People who are definitely
gossiped.
like athletes who work at the Y were just strolling.
Yes.
Not interested in running at all.
Yeah.
They were like, I have a meeting with friends after this. I'm just here for the optics.
I'm here for overtime.
Yeah. And then you tried to make it a big family moment of running through the finish line, but our daughter was like not into it. She sprinted ahead anyway.
Yeah.
She took her moment. It's fine. She took her moment.
Take your moment. Do your thing. It was
Yeah.
fine. Nobody's mad. Nobody's mad. We didn't get the photo at all.
Are you mad? You
no,
okay?
No, I'm fine. I really didn't care. I got a photo. We'll look back on it. Like, it was such a fun day.
It was a fun day.
It was a fun day. We did
It's
have a
fine.
great time.
It's cute watching our kids put in those little bibs.
Yeah.
Someday maybe you'll do this.
It is funny doing this, seeing the things that they either just hate or love or are indifferent.
Yeah.
And that was an indifferent one. And
Yeah,
it's
they
fine.
were ready to get out of there kind of the whole time.
Mhm.
I thought they might have more fun. That's fine.
It's fine.
That's what we keep saying. It's fine, everybody. We're fine. It's fine. Hope you're fine.
You know what's nice about November, though, is speaking of like doing things,
The foliage.
the foliage is nice. But
We don't have any
also, there's
foliage.
not a lot to do in November, and that's nice.
That's
Because-
not true, but okay.
I just mean in October, you do trunk or treats, or if you're into that, you go to haunted houses. There's like, you go and you see the neighbors'
Yeah,
houses
yeah.
that have haunted houses. And November is kind of like the palate cleanser of just like set up
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving, which is a big deal and a big day, but so is Halloween in a way. And kind of just get ready for that
Yeah.
one day, because then
November
you're going to be back
feels
in
like
it.
it should be
way
apple
more.
picking and pumpkin patches. But instead, we do that in like early October when it's 100 degrees.
We do that in early
So
October.
that's when the apples are ready. And it's not about you. It's about the
It's
apples.
about the apples, when the apples tell you when it's time to come
They
in.
tell you when to be here.
But that's what I mean. November's kind of a bit of a palate cleanser of just like,
That's true.
okay, take a breath. You don't have much time.
I just think it's funny that you're saying that in the midst of like, we just had our fall festival and you're about to start Scholastic Book Fair.
I didn't say in regular life. I'm just mean in the realm of holidays.
That's true. That's true. We have a big, and then the kids are off on Monday and you got to figure out what to do with them. And then they're off for a week around Thanksgiving. But I'm not.
No notes.
No notes.
Let's read a review. If you guys want to write a review, please do so on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us. We're a new podcast. Those who have done it, thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
This one says, easy listening for tired parents from Sabset13. Listening to this podcast when the kids finally go to sleep is my doom scrolling. Of course, interrupted many times by requests for water, which is right next to them, a third or fourth hug goodnight, or the desperate need to tell you a story they suddenly remembered an hour past their bedtime but couldn't recall at all during dinner when we begged for even a snippet of their day. Anyway, awesome podcast by awesome parents. That is so nice. And God, all of that, it resonates so hard. The kids asking for water every single night. And then our kids love to tell you a story. They have epic stories right when they're about to fall asleep. Meanwhile, all day you're like, please, what happened? Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't remember. Nothing. I don't remember.
I saw a lot of blood today.
Yeah.
What?
There was a meme of somebody that said like, all day I begged my kid to tell me what happened at school. They were like, nothing. And then the next day on Instagram, I saw that they were like hugging a horse or something.
Yeah.
It was like, what? We had a very similar thing. I think they brought a cow
They
into
brought
our
cows
kids' school,
into
and
school.
we
We
did
didn't
not know
know.
anything about it until we saw it on the school's Instagram page.
Literally what happened to us. It was like,
I was like, you saw a cow? Yeah.
yeah, a farmer came in with cows and stuff, and we got to pet it. And I was like,
Oh.
How-
Didn't feel like mentioning
how
it?
are you not so excited to tell me that when you
Yeah.
get home? I don't understand.
Cow was at your school?
It's fine to not tell me the day to day, but like you had a cow at school.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Unless you're homeschooled on a farm.
Which case, it's not as much of a big
It's
deal.
kind of a Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
we made it through.
Made it through. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.